No distractions, so I'll just sit by his side. Even when something is going wrong, I can't say anything like, "Oh, hey, watch out, you're a hero." I just gotta keep quiet.
When I was still playing StarCraft, there was this game called Warcraft 3 Reign of Chaos coming out. And Taco was already playing Warcraft 3 before it was out. Not because we like to do pirating, but he just couldn't wait. And when the game came out, we bought 2 copies of it to make up for it. But somehow we didn't really get into it, and I don't know why. But I remember there was one point where I must have seen someone play, or I saw it in a replay, I think, of this guy, a Night Elf player against human on Lost Temple, and he made the Keeper of the Grove hero first. And there's this skill called Entangling Roots. He went to the human base and would just entangle a peasant, keep attacking it while the roots are there, and it would actually die. And it can't run away. And I was like, wow, that's really annoying. You can really piss someone off with that. And he didn't just do it once. I mean, he entangles 4 or 5 peasants, they're dead. He goes healing and then he does it again. I think that's the first time that I really thought, this game is really nice. I do think that I like to get into people's heads, and if I see that they're annoyed, power to me. That was really when I said, okay, it's been enough of StarCraft now. I can't wait to get home from school to make that Keeper of the Grove. I think inadvertently, through my having fun, I also learned a certain set of skills which you can't learn just by playing solo. Like the feeling of controlling a 100-foot army is quite common in FFA, but very rare in solo. But there could just be a case where you could have use of it. And in ISO.nl it was definitely true that there were players who did some things better than me, so I just tried to learn from them. And eventually I think Myth and me, we were playing at a level where we could compete pretty decently with the European top. And it was at that point that Tillerman from 4Kings invited us to join 4Kings to play WC3L as a 2v2 team primarily. I think that was the first time I had to choose between what seems to be more professional and the ability to go abroad and stuff, and between friends. Because the 4Kings guys, they were not really friends. I mean, Fury was a friend already, but the rest I was like more scared of them than friendly with them. Like Zeus kind of intimidated me, and I was scared of Kai in competition, like Kaj, because I saw how he plays and I thought he's like very strong, and I was afraid to play against him. And it was this big unknown world, but possibly more professional. I think that was the first time I had to choose between friends and the possibility of more, and I thought, you know, those friends, they can remain my friends, but I want to play in the WC3. Well, it was just crazy for me. And I remember I was staying at my dad's place at that time, and yeah, we were probably playing against SK or another team, but I got sick. I got a fever for my first clan war, and Tillerman asked if I could play on such and so date in that time, and I thought, oh my god, no, I'm sick. You know, I have a clan war and I'm sick, what am I gonna do? And shall I tell him? How do I tell him? And I was like, hey, Tillerman, I'm sorry, I'm ill, I don't know if I can play. And I felt so awful and guilty and everything. And he was just like, oh, that's okay, you know, people get sick. And I was like, what? He's just so cool about it. And so I got to play the next week, and full confidence. And I was strong against human as one of the only few orcs. So I thought I could do it. You know, winning against human on the ladder wasn't the same as winning against human in Clan Wars. And I remember I lost my first 2-3 matches. First against Insomnia, and then against MTW Jan the Pig. Then maybe more, I don't know. But I didn't have a glorious debut. But as the season went on, I think I also got some wins and I started getting the hang of it and also the pleasure without like the extreme stress that I thought, oh my God, this is like so important. This could kill me or save me. You know, I still thought it was very important, but I could relax more and try to play my own game. For ESWC 2003, I had to qualify on a summer day, about 35 degrees Celsius. I was already known as the best player in the Netherlands. So everyone was like, let's not go. Grubby's already going and the weather is too good to waste a day. So I went to Rotterdam, the city, and got there and they said, you know, no one else showed up, so just stay here for a bit so we can take your picture and then you got yourself a free ticket to Paris. Or I think it was in Poitiers. And I met my first South Korean person in general, probably, and also the first South Korean player, which was Dayfly and Showtime. And I especially held Showtime in very high regard because he was just this legend who I saw doing this crazy stuff, like never letting his demon hunter die and just having this crazy micro. And I thought that he would just ignore me or not look at me, or when I say hi he'll be like, go away, push me on the ground, kick me. But in fact I was too scared to say anything, and he came to me and he said, hi Grubby, and I was like, wow, he knows my name. And he said hi, and I was humbled by that. That was my first big tournament. Then you had a lot of like split screen of player views and also observer views, so it was all very, very easy to follow the action whenever you want. And it wasn't just that, there was shoutcast in French in the main hall, which was like a cinema. But every visitor got a headset to get a translation in English, which I thought was a really nice idea. And I think, was there a heart rate monitor? I think so. For players who play on the stage, and well, I just remember Matt Frog's heart rate went up very high, which probably means he was nervous and or excited or pumped up adrenaline, which I thought was cool to see. I have played Orc for nearly all of my tournaments in my life. Night Elf I played at ESWC 2003. After that I chose to switch to Human because Human is Imba in Reign of Chaos, and I lost to Human at the tournament, and I had to change to Human so that I could win the Dutch qualifier for WCG.
I don't know if Grubby told you about he once wanted to stop gaming because he played a Dutch qualification game, and he lost versus as a Psycho. Thank you. And he got in the loser bracket, and he thought if I lose to him I never win, and he was very sick of it. And then I told him to play Human because I saw in other replays that Human was the stronger race at the moment. And he played it and he qualified, and then he could go to the WCG, and then he kept playing Human. And after some time he switched back to Orc and to Night Elf, but that's what, it was really nice to get him motivated again with the game.
Then I played Human for 2 tournaments, European Cyber Games 2003 and World Cyber Games 2003. Ever since after I've played Orc, except one time I played Undead against Tot in the finals of the Chinese tournament. Pride gets in the way of most people. For me it never does. I mean, I enjoy playing with X-Lords Human. If anyone can beat me with their off race, that means they are a valid practice partner, or I'm playing too bad. Pride never gets in the way for me, but a lot of people apparently are like that, which means mostly ladder. And it actually came to pass that I was in 2006 in the city of Qingdao in China. I met Tot in the grand finals after beating Suho in a pretty thrilling match. And then against Tot I played Orc and I lost the first match, and the second match was Turtle Rock, so I was like, oh god, what should I do? Do I have the nerves to go play Undead now? And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And for me that's a very memorable game because it's the only time I ever played Undead on LAN against a top player. And I actually remember I got like footman surround, I mean doing ghoul surrounds on his footman.